Welcome. Today, we're going to dive into the world of note-taking, but we're not just going to talk about if you should take notes. We're going to figure out if the way you're taking them is actually helping you learn or if it's kind of holding you back.
When it comes to taking notes, most of us tend to fall into one of two camps. First, you've got the overnoter, the person who's frantically trying to write down every single thing. And then, on the other side, you've got the undernoter, who barely writes anything down at all. Let's take a closer look, because both of these extremes, well, they create some pretty big problems for your learning.
So let's start with that first one, trying to write down everything. It feels productive, doesn't it? You figure the more notes you have, the more you're learning. But as we're about to see, it often does the exact opposite.
So here's what's really happening when you get caught in this overnoting trap. When you try to capture every single sentence, your brain totally shifts gears. You're no longer focused on understanding the ideas, you're just trying to copy them. Your main goal becomes keeping up, not actually processing the information. And what happens then? You inevitably start to fall behind, and you completely miss the big picture, the actual structure of the lesson.
Okay, so that's the whole trap of taking too many notes. Now, let's flip the script and look at the complete opposite extreme.
On the other side of the coin, you have students who write very, very little. They listen, they follow along, and honestly, it feels a lot easier in the moment. The problem, of course, hits you later on. When it's time to study for that test, you've got almost nothing to review. You're forced to rely completely on what you can remember, and let's be honest, it's almost a guarantee that some of the most important ideas just slip through the cracks. And this right here, this really gets to the heart of the problem. It doesn't matter if you write everything or if you write almost nothing. Both of these patterns lead you to the exact same place. You have less clarity during the actual lesson, and it creates a ton more work and effort for you later on.
Okay, so if the amount of notes you take isn't the answer, then what is? Well, the real solution is all about shifting our focus away from the quantity of our notes and towards something much, much more powerful.
And this is the crucial point right here. Really effective note-taking isn't about writing more, and it's not about writing less. It is all about capturing the structure of the information.
So what do we actually mean when we say capture structure? Think of it like this. It means you're actively looking for and recording how the information is organized. You're constantly asking yourself questions like, okay, what's the main idea here? What are the details that support that idea? When your notes start to reflect this kind of thinking, they actually make your life easier later because you've already done the heavy lifting of organizing the ideas in your mind.
Okay, that's enough theory. Let's make this personal. Let's apply this directly to your own system. Because look, every single one of us has a note-taking habit. The real question is your habit helping you, or is it getting in your way? For this next part, I'm going to ask you to pause in just a moment. Go ahead and grab your workbook and open it up to lesson 13.1. We're about to do a quick checkup on your own habits. Okay, first question, and it's a pretty simple one. Looking at those two patterns we just talked about, the overnoter and the undernoter, which one sounds more like you most of the time? Go ahead and pause the explainer here and write down your answer. We'll be here when you get back. All right, got that? Good. Next, I want you to think about all of your classes. I want you to pick just one, the one where taking notes feels the most difficult for you.
Go ahead, pause again, and write that class down.
And for this last reflection, I want you to think about that specific class. What's usually happening? Try to pinpoint what it is that makes taking notes in there so tough. Is the teacher talking too fast? Is the information all over the place? Get specific.
All right, one last time. Take a moment, pause, and jot down your thoughts. Excellent. Now that you've had a chance to reflect on your own system, let's bring this all together with this single most important takeaway from our lesson today.
If you remember just one thing from all of this, let it be this. The real goal of effective note-taking is to capture the structure of the information.
It's not about writing down every word you hear, and it's definitely not about capturing nothing at all. It's about finding that powerful middle ground.
Structure. That one word, that's your new goal. And in our next lesson, we're going to get very practical and look at exactly how you can start building that structure into your notes.